What's up? This is a video on who is the greatest of all time boxer. Okay. So I'm going to say straight up, you got to go with Muhammad Ali. I think he was the greatest boxer of all time. I mean, you can talk about Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd Mayweather is not a heavyweight. Talk about he had a better record, but he is not a heavyweight. It is harder to have a record that good as a heavyweight. So that's why I can't say Floyd Mayweather. Also, boxing was at its peak in the 70s. It was the biggest sport in the nation. I mean, and then it started getting corrupt and it started getting less viewers. UFC came along, UFC got more popular. So I think that in the 70s, it attracted the best athletes. See what I'm saying? Uh, that's why George Foreman, he was a champion in the 70s and then he came back and won it again in the 90s at the age of 48. So uh, I mean, and you can talk Rocky Marciano and stuff like that, and he was a great heavyweight. But I don't think I think Ali went to the military and had all that drama, and he didn't box for like over a year or like several years, and then came back and really and you want to talk about people talk about Frazier was a great heavyweight and Foreman was a great heavyweight. The only reason those guys were great heavyweights is because Ali took several years break, and that's the only reason why they beat him. Why Frazier beat him is because he had taken several years break. If Ali doesn't have to leave and go to the military and do all that stuff for years, I think he stays undefeated. A lot of people don't talk about that, but I think he stays undefeated. And you can talk about Mike Tyson. I mean, you know, would Mike Tyson beat Muhammad Ali on his best day? Both of them on their best day? I don't know. I mean, I used to believe that, but I just don't think the heavyweights of the 80s were the same as the heavyweights of the 70s. So, uh, I mean, so I don't know who else you can talk about. You want to talk about heavyweights of today? I mean, you want to talk about any era? I mean, really, to me, you have lightweights like Sugar Ray Leonard and guys like that. I think Sugar Ray Leonard was better than Floyd Mayweather because he had stiffer competition. When Sugar Ray Leonard fought, you had freaking Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You had guys like that. You had uh, you had more. You had Thomas the Hitman Hearns. You had those guys. I don't know. I mean, that's iffy. But if you want to talk about the greatest boxer that ever set foot into the ring, I think you have to go Muhammad Ali. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about it. He could not be beat, and he was a heavyweight. See, it's different if a guy can be beat or can't be beat, and he's a lightweight, because it's easier not to get beat as a lightweight because the guys don't punch as hard. One bad punch, and you're a heavyweight, and it's over with. I mean, heavyweights are notorious for having worse records than any other rankings. You know, I mean, uh, maybe I'm wrong, and you can leave in the comments why you think I'm wrong. But you got Tyson Fury. He's a great heavyweight. You got Deontay Wilder. I mean, those guys are great. You got Anthony Joshua, but you know, it's hard to compare those guys to Muhammad Ali because they don't fight as much. They fight like once a year. It's just not the same, man. It's just not the same. I mean, you want to talk about if you took one of these heavyweights from today and teleported him back in time to fight Muhammad Ali, yeah, maybe they could beat him because you have better supplements and shit now. Obviously, the boxers are faster and more genetically gifted now, but that's not how you do that. That wouldn't be fair. You have to take Tyson Fury and Wilder and Joshua and teleport them back and make them be born in the 30s like Ali, without all the supplements and without all that shit, and then see if they would be better than Ali. If a guy's using better supplements and that's why he's better, he's really not better. So you can sit here and say, and it's the same thing with the great of all time debate in basketball and in any sport. You can't judge, well, if we took one of these guys today and teleported him back in time, he would beat those guys. Obviously, they have faster 40s. They're better. That's bullshit. That's not how you judge who was the greatest of all time. You judge who was the greatest of all time by how he did in his era, who he competed with. So, you got lots of great heavyweights. I mean, it's not all about heavyweights. You got lots of great lightweights, lots of great middleweights. You got Roy Jones Jr. You got freaking all kind of guys. You got, of course, George Foreman. How can you not put him in the debate when he came back and won the heavyweight championship at 48 years old? How can you not put Bernard Hopkins? I mean, I don't know if he's in there, but he just won a belt again at 50 years old? I mean, that's a great accomplishment, But, of course, you got all these older guys. I mean, there's so many older guys. Really, it's not fair to not include those older guys like freaking Sugar Ray, was it Robinson? The guy who fought hundreds of fights, Joe Louis, freaking, a lot of those guys. Rocky Marciano. Why can't you include Rocky Marciano in that conversation? He was a great freaking boxer. I don't care who he boxed against. I mean, Jack Dempsey. I mean, did Jack Dempsey cheat? I don't know. But if he didn't cheat, he was a damn good boxer. I mean, I don't know if you can put him up there with the greats, but I'm going to honorable mention him, because he dedicated his life to the sport. And for his time, in his era, he's a damn good boxer. You got lots of guys, man. You got Floyd Patterson, I mean, you got honorable mentions with Floyd Patterson. You got, I mean, boxing's an old sport, so you have to go way back. That's why it's hard to get a grasp on who was the greatest in boxing, because there's a lot more to learn about boxing than basketball, baseball, or football, because boxing has been around a lot longer. And you have to know about all those old guys before you can sit here and talk about who's the greatest. I mean, there were lots of great lightweights and shit like that back in the old days. I mean, I can't think of any right now. I mean, I know about them. I mean, I'm more of a heavyweight guy, but man, I mean, you talk about make some great accomplishments. Some of those lightweights made great accomplishments, like in the 50s and 40s and shit. I mean, it was amazing, but, so, you just, but, the thing of it is, I don't know, man. You had lots of great guys, but I'm going to go on and say Muhammad Ali, because he did what he did as a heavyweight. And then maybe I'm biased. Maybe people are biased because he was a heavyweight. I don't know. I just don't see Mayweather doing that if he's a heavyweight. I just don't see him doing it. So, all right, well, there's my opinion. Thank you guys very much.